What if someone told you that the best years of your life might not be your 20s or your 30s, but the years after 50? Most people would laugh at that. We are taught to imagine life as a curve. Youth rises, midlife peaks, and after that, everything slowly slides down. But 50 is better than I imagined challenges that script. It asks a simple but powerful question. What if the story we inherited about 50 is wrong?
The title itself feels provocative. Most people associate 50 with decline, pressure, invisibility, and letting younger people take the stage. How does the book turn that around?
The author, Anna Murphy, was a fashion director at the Times in the UK. She spent decades inside an industry that often treats youth, smoothness, and flawlessness as the price of entry. When she turned 50, she made a very visible choice. She stopped dyeing her hair and let the silver grow in. In that world, it was not a small gesture, it was a statement. I am no longer serving a fake image of youth.
That takes courage, especially in fashion. Grey hair is often judged as giving up, even when it is simply a choice.
Exactly. And her point is not that everyone must stop dyeing their hair. Her point is that you should get to decide. Dye it if you enjoy it. Let it go silver if that feels true. But do not let fear be the one making the decision. One of the book's strongest ideas is that aging is not the enemy. It is the process of becoming more fully yourself.
So the book is not just about age. It is about the system that tells us what age is supposed to mean.
Yes. Why are we afraid of getting older? A small child does not naturally fear old age. In many cultures, elders carry respect and authority. But modern life keeps telling us that age is a defect. Lines are bad, gray hair is bad, looking your age is a failure. The market plants the fear, then sells you the bridge out of it.
That is painfully familiar. So many people look in the mirror and do not see a person. They see a list of things to fix.
Exactly. A wrinkle here, a softer jawline there, heavier eyes, silver at the roots. The face becomes a construction project that is never finished. Murphy says that this is like living in a beautiful old house and staring only at the cracks, while ignoring the light coming through the windows. After 50, our relationship with appearance can move from battle to acceptance.
Does acceptance mean no longer caring about style or beauty?
Not at all. Murphy loves style. She encourages people after 50 to dress well, but the purpose changes. Earlier in life, dressing may be tied to approval, attraction, or fitting in. After 50, style can become self-expression. Wear the colors you love. Choose clothes that feel good on your body. Look polished because it delights you, not because you are trying to disguise your age.
That feels freeing. The goal is not to look 20 years younger. The goal is to look like yourself with confidence.
Yes, one line from the book stayed with me. When you have so many stories to tell, who would want to be a blank page? The lines on your face, the silver in your hair, the way you carry yourself, all of that says you have laughed, struggled, loved, lost, and kept going. Those are not defects, they are evidence.
But for many people, the hardest part of 50 is not just appearance. It is identity. Roles change, work changes, family changes. Suddenly, you may wonder who you are without all the roles you have been carrying.
That is one of the deepest parts of the book. Many people spend the first half of life being pushed by roles. Worker, partner, daughter, reliable person, the one who holds everything together. Then one day the demands shift, and a frightening question appears. Who am I now? Murphy sees that not only as a crisis, but as an opening.
What kind of opening?
She compares it to shedding a shell. The old shell has cracked, but the new wings are not fully open yet. Of course, that middle stage feels fragile. But it is also precious, because for the first time you may be able to ask, not what does everyone need from me, but what do I actually want?
That changes the whole feeling of midlife. It becomes less of an ending and more of a second beginning.
Exactly. The book includes stories of people who begin pottery, photography, writing, study, travel, or small creative projects after 50. They are not trying to impress the world. They are rediscovering the pleasure of making, noticing, learning, and choosing. One woman says she needed 50 years to find what she truly loved, but it was not too late.
That is a tender idea. A lot of people worry they have missed the window.
But the second half of life does not have to be a copy of the first half. It also does not have to be a rebellion against the first half. It can simply be a more honest chapter. You can ask, where do I want my time to go now? What gives me light? Which relationships help me breathe? What kind of day makes me feel alive?
Relationships are another big part of this. After 50, shallow social life can feel especially exhausting.
Yes. When we are younger, we often treat networking as security. We say yes to gatherings we do not want, protect everyone's feelings, keep circles wide, and call it value. But later you realize that the relationships that truly nourish you may be few. Murphy's point is clear. After 50, the quality of friendship matters far more than the quantity.
You do not need 100 casual likes. You need a few people with whom you can be honest.
Exactly. People you do not have to perform for. People you can meet without armor. People who hear you say, I am tired today, and do not need a polished explanation. That kind of friendship is wealth. The relationships that drain you every time can be released slowly, not with bitterness, but with clarity.
What about long-term partnerships? A lot of people reach 50 and feel more like roommates than lovers.
The book does not romanticize that. It simply suggests that 50 can be a time to know each other again. After decades together, people assume they know the person beside them, but both people have changed. A walk, a real conversation, a question like, what are you thinking about these days, can reopen warmth. Mature love does not need fireworks. It can be quieter, steadier, and more generous.
Listening to all of this, I keep hearing one word: courage.
That is the right word. Murphy says one of the greatest gifts of 50 is a quieter courage. Not the dramatic courage of doing something reckless, but the courage to be yourself. To say, I do not like this anymore. I want something different. I deserve better than shrinking for other people's expectations.
That is not selfishness. It is clarity.
Exactly. In your 20s, you may care too much about being liked. In your 30s, responsibility can push you forward so hard you barely hear yourself. In your 40s, you may still be balancing too much. By 50, after loss, failure, misunderstanding, and change, you may finally understand that the one person you cannot abandon is yourself.
So 50 is not an exit. It can be the moment you take your life back.
That is what makes 50 is better than I imagined so moving. It does not pretend that aging has no difficulty. It simply says, do not confuse the fear you were taught with the life you are actually living. You are not just getting older, you are becoming more whole. May you stop letting age limit you, stop lowering your head for other people's eyes, and live the next chapter with honesty, warmth, and fire. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next book.